All right. Hi, everyone. It's Robin, your psychic girlfriend, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I want to cover the Laura Owens case, and she's up for arraignment this week. And she's currently facing 7 felony charges, including 1 count of fraudulent schemes and artifices, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of forgery, and 4 counts of perjury, 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. Now, these are serious allegations. Wouldn't want to be her. And this arraignment will be her first formal confrontation with the criminal justice system. Now, I have been following the Laura Owens case. I keep wanting to say Lauren, I don't know why. Laura Owens case since Dave Neal's coverage, and I was drawn even deeper into it with coverage from Megan Fox and other wonderful people like Lauren Knighty and Bruce the Moose and several other YouTubers who have been covering this, Reality Steve. Anyway, and as always, what I'm sharing today is based on my intuitive interpretation, my Lenormand cards, and energetic sensing. Now, this is a spiritual perspective meant for insight and reflection, not legal advice, fact-checking, or even court commentary. So use your own discernment. In this video, I'm sharing my psychic forecast and energetic reading around Laura Owens' May 29th arraignment. Now, I pulled 4 cards. One is the tree, the mice, I hope you can see it, the ring, and the house. And these are pretty intense cards for this. So let's dive in. The energy around Laura right now feels tense and constricted. No surprise there. And our tree shows us that this is not just a short-term legal problem. This is deeply karmic. And it's connected to long-standing patterns, possibly even family conditioning or ancestral wounds. Now, Laura may be physically or even energetically drained, and we could see the signs of this in her arraignment, whether in her posture, her tone, or even how she presents herself. I expect we will still see a very tiny person, and we will notice what her energy is about. And then we have the mice, and this card never arrives lightly. It's the card of loss, erosion, anxiety, and decay. It's what happens when something has been left unattended for too long. Psychically, it feels like there are details she's trying to keep under wraps, but they're slipping. Leaks, inconsistencies, and quiet betrayals. These could all surface around this arraignment. Now, the ring is a fascinating card to show up here because it highlights agreements, contracts, promises, and cycles. And it suggests that part of this story at this stage may involve her past claims, sworn testimony, or even promises she made, perhaps even with her former attorney, David Gingras. And they're now unraveling. She may be trying to keep certain details intact, but they're likely going to be challenged soon. Now, the house ties this all together with the theme of image, family, and control. Now, Laura has been invested in creating a stable outer appearance, even one that's bold. And she is saying everything's fine, but the cards are clear. That structure is showing cracks, and this arraignment will be the first real public container where her illusions meet accountability. So what could happen on May 29th? Well, legally speaking, an arraignment is often procedural, but energetically, this is a gateway. This is the spiritual entry point into a cycle where truth is no longer hers to manage. Psychically, I sense she will maintain composure, but there's still a performance element present. And she's trying to seem put together, rational, and even maybe a little detached. But the energy is heavy and fraying. So if you're someone who reads faces, voices, or body language, Watch closely. There will be tells. And there's also this sense of something unexpected that could occur. Not necessarily dramatic, but definitely revealing. Maybe it's a delay in paperwork, or maybe a misstatement, or even an unexpected shift in tone from the judge or attorney. And Spirit says the energy will be off script. If she pleads not guilty, which is likely, it will set a tone of denial. But the spiritual pressure will increase significantly after this. This is the moment her illusions begin to face legal momentum. All right, so with both house and ring in this spread, we have to talk about the family dynamics, especially about her mom, Jan Black. It's shown up repeatedly in my readings on this case, and this energy obviously feels very enmeshed and possibly emotionally codependent. Now, there seems to be attempts to make a unified front, but it's taking a toll. Spiritually, this arraignment may put pressure on that bond. There's a karmic layer here. What happens when a family builds its identity around control rather than truth? Her home life, or the image of stability she's tried to create, will be tested. This isn't just a trial, it's a dismantling of the energetic foundation she's relied on to hold her story together. So now, what comes after the arraignment? Well, post-arraignment, I'm seeing slow but undeniable unraveling. Not dramatic, but persistent. So think documents resurfacing or surfacing, past relationships speaking up, which I hope is the case, or even civil cases being drafted behind the scenes. She may also experience growing emotional isolation. The people who once stood beside her may begin to step back, and not necessarily out of disloyalty, but self-preservation. Now, Spirit is showing me someone standing in the hallway with doors slowly closing, one by one. I've been having dreams about doors, I'm telling you, and this is showing up here too. The tree plus the mice combination suggests that even her physical health or mental clarity may be affected by the pressure. And this isn't about punishment, it's about exposure. And the soul learning that control, charm, and manipulation can only go so far. So what does this mean for us? Well, this case and this arraignment is about truth versus illusion on a very public stage. It's about what happens when a curated identity finally has to meet consequence. Energetically, it invites all of us to reflect. Where am I holding on to a story that no longer serves me? And what would collapse if I stopped performing and started telling the truth? For Laura, May 29th isn't just about charges. It's about a reckoning with her own narrative, and the universe is listening. So thank you for tuning into this deeper look at Laura Owens' arraignment. These insights are based on my intuitive reading and energetic interpretation of the moment we're all about to witness. I'll be back after the arraignment with another forecast and psychic reading to help us process what's coming next. So make sure to subscribe and even leave a comment. I want to know what you're feeling around this case, and do you think she'll try to maintain control, or are we watching a larger unraveling? Sending you clarity and grounded truth, and I'll see you in the next one.